Oh my gosh, Aiming actually makes it worse. 2016 has been a rough go. Even ignoring the political scene, the world just seems harsher. People are angry at one another, don't trust each other, and even in the brony community, I've gotten the sense that we're burying our fangs at one another more than anything. I know I'm not the only person who feels this way. A fellow fan contacted me and asked how I can remain an idealist in these settings. Ideas are hard things to convey. Oftentimes they have to don a disguise to be recognized in public. Case in point, you don't lecture a kid on the value of patience and determination. You read them the story of the tortoise and the hare. Sir Thomas More had his own ideas on what the ideal society would look like, so he wrote Utopia in 1516. George Orwell feared a culture where truth was concealed, and Aldous Huxley feared a culture where truth didn't matter. Thus one wrote 1984 and the other wrote Brave New World. Each arguably left more an impact on political thought and cultural criticism than any standalone essay. So rather than talk about idealism directly, let's talk about two anime that hit close to home at just the right or wrong time. Normally I prefer to use My Little Pony as a vessel to convey ideas, but sadly that won't work in this case. The world of Equestria is geared towards fairness. The just are rewarded, the guilty are punished or forced to flee, cheaters never win, and even losing turns into a strength. I've heard folks express how much better this world seems in comparison to our own, or how they wish they could live in Equestria. There was a similar reaction from fans of the movie Avatar. I worry when people express these wishes because it seems like giving up on this life for a fictional one. While fantasy can offer a small break, like a daydream, I think it's healthy to carry the best aspects of that ideal realm and try to apply them to the real world. Fiction helps us convey ideas. Even when things aren't going well, fiction can offer an example of how to move forward. That's the case in Dragon Ball Super. Continuing the saga of Goku and friends after Dragon Ball Z, Super's done some interesting things with the old boy. Now, fair warning to you all, I am going to be talking about the conclusion of the most recent big arc. So if you want to avoid spoilers, please hold off on watching this video and go watch the series on Crunchyroll or the upcoming Toonami debut. This recent arc features Goku, Vegeta, and Bulma, but the real focus is the alternate future Trunks. It's his world that is under attack from the mad god Zamasu. It's Trunks who keeps making desperate move after move to find a solution and defeat the evil Goku, dubbed Goku Black. Thanks to his past family, he ends up with a lot of resources. The time machine offers breathing room with which to heal and train. Bulma offers technical know-how and resources which are transported through said time machine. Plus there are two absurd powerhouses like Goku and Vegeta who get stronger with each battle. Yet the strongest moment for Trunks comes from connecting with his fellow survivors. The few people who have lasted through the assault and are still struggling to create a future. Trunks shares their desire to survive, and that combined desire, that unity, comes together to give him a weapon that can slay a god. And this episode came out on November 13th, 5 days after the 2016 election. No matter which party or candidate you supported, or if you chose not to participate at all, I think we can objectively agree that this was an exceptionally divisive event. So I can't stress enough how positive it was to see an act of unity accomplish the seemingly impossible. Yes, it's fiction. Yet fiction is often a framework to remind us of our best selves, banding together and pooling strength to overcome a challenge too great for one person. For bronies, think of it as an Elements of Harmony moment, but with a greater emphasis on, stabbing. But this is Dragon Ball, and if there's one thing Dragon Ball loves to do, it's draw things out. A villain looks to be on the ropes in one episode, but is quickly back in charge by the next. Dragon Ball Super, however, dialed this up to depressing levels. His physical form vanquished, Zamasu's ego, or spirit, attempts to become the universe itself and kills everyone except the main characters. And they ain't coming back. Those resistance fighters who stayed and fought against all fear? Dead. Future Yajirobe? Gone. Kami House and the Turtle? Adios! That Frankenstein's monster android from the original Dragon Ball that I haven't yet seen? Well, I won't be seeing him again. This little girl who symbolized kindness and innocence in this bleak future? Dead, dead, dead. There are times when fiction can and likely should give us a hard slap from reality. Game of Thrones is a prime example, but I was startled by this shift. The theme in Dragon Ball is often about surpassing limitations. Yet this was a reminder that some limits can't be overcome. The gulf between a mortal and a god is just too much. And while Trunks had a lot of resources, Zamasu had a far greater lead. The feeling I took away from this was the reminder that you can do a lot of things right, have a lot of support, but you can still fail. Success is not a given, and the world doesn't owe the virtuous or the innocent a big win. Feeling rather bummed, I picked up a manga that had been on my radar for a while, My Hero Academia. The summary for this story is, in a world where 80% of the population possesses superpowers, heroes and villains are an everyday part of life. The greatest hero is All Might, a champion and inspiration. Yet one young man who possesses no power will quickly learn that things aren't always as they appear. Central star Izuku Midoriya has no superpower or quirk, even though his greatest desire is to be a hero. Even after already being slightly disillusioned at seeing All Might's true form, Izuku asks if he can be a hero despite being quirkless, to which All Might replies, "Nope." Well, he's being more supportive than that, but facts are facts. A quirkless person can't hope to keep up with superpowered beings. Yeah, there is no Batman in this universe. So Izuku has to take the long walk home while processing this reality. Yet on the way he spots a classmate being attacked and consumed by an oily villain. Unless you think this is some poor innocent, this guy earlier told Izuku to go kill himself. Yeah, really likable fella. Let's just tally this up. Hidden truth behind a hero, harsh reality of an insurmountable barrier, and now karma seems to have caught up with someone else. What does Izuku do? Without even thinking, he runs in to go save that person. Even Izuku himself doesn't understand why. But on some level, unconscious but still a choice, Izuku made a decision. The limitations don't matter. The disappointments don't matter. Even that guy's attitude does not matter. Someone needs help, and he's going in. Because this is the series start, I'm betting you can all see that Izuku's story won't end with this event. He does indeed get accepted to a superhero training school. During the first exam, the students protest an unfair competition in which the weakest performer gets expelled. To which the teacher replies that calamity is always around the corner and there are plenty of unfair things and events. Heroes are the ones who correct all that unfairness. So let's tie all this back to the initial question. How does one keep being an idealist when we seem to fall well short? I think the first step is to accept that the world does not default to fairness or justice. We are not owed a happy ending. If we can't accept that fact, then idealism quickly gives way to cynicism. It's very tempting to surrender any forward momentum and accept the default unfairness. But My Hero Academia reminded me of something. While equality, respect, justice, and other virtues are ideals rather than constants, that doesn't make them any less real. They are things that we create and strive towards. Like the heroes we celebrate in fiction, we can work to correct that unfairness. It won't be perfect and it won't be easy, but ultimately it comes down to the choice of moving forward or becoming stagnant. Even in the bleak situation of Dragon Ball Super, the exhausted heroes still stand up and give their best shot at a universe that is anything but fair or just. And though the battle leaves scars, both physical and emotional, the heroes continue to move forward. To borrow a quote from Carl Schurz, "Ideals are like the stars. We never reach them, but like the mariners of the sea, we chart our course by them." I hope that in this coming year, the stories and ideas that inspire you can translate into positive action. It isn't easy, but I find it far better than surrender. I'm Silver-Quill. Thanks for watching.